In the 70s, a family moved into a home with the intention of restoring it and flipping it, but the spirits had other plans. Terrifying paranormal events showed them quickly. The land don't like them much. Tonight, it's time to put on your realtor's jacket and come with us to a very special open house on Ghosted in West Virginia. Good evening, obsessors, oppressors, and possessors. It is I, your humble host, Alec McCann, and with me, as always,
Julia.
And we are handsome and humble, both of us. Boom. So I have the story this evening, and it is a two-parter. I haven't decided whether or not we'll just do a compilation in between. It depends on how long it takes me to do the second part.
Okay.
But I am almost done.
Okay.
I'm over halfway done, so we'll see what this week brings.
Yes, because I have some compilations done if need be, so.
Right. Well, we have the continuation of our campfire stories that were going on. But tonight is an episode that I'm very excited about. I found it on Kindle. It's written by Dale Scott, I believe.
That sounds familiar.
It's in our shared library.
You may have just the name.
Oh.
Maybe I'm thinking of Michael Scott.
I wish there was a Michael Scott in here, but so far there hasn't been in the story. I would have, but it is what it is. So, Michael Scott. Oh, look what you did! Look what you did.
Yes.
Sorry. Dale Scott was 14 when his family decided to move into a shoddily put together 1970s style A-frame house.
Oh, I love A-frames.
I do too, but from the description, he was not favorable of this A-frame. He said it was a piece of junk, pretty much, is how it seemed he was describing it.
It happens, I guess.
But it was built over top of an older, smaller structure, and the corners didn't really meet, and it was in bad way in terms of maintenance. Dale's parents bought the house while still owning their own. So the idea here was that they were going to buy this property, fix it up while living in it, sell it to supplement their income, and they'd have the other house, I think, to fall back on.
Gotcha.
If I'm remembering the story right, I did write this over, I think.
It's been a while, I think, hasn't
no,
it?
just 2 weeks. I didn't date it like I normally do. But I started this as soon as I finished our Halloween episode. And that was about 2 weeks ago. So, if I'm not mistaken, it only took me about 2 weeks to get.
Not bad.
More than halfway through. So,
Not bad.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. Now, they did this, to supplement their income. They worked at a music store and grocery store. The mother worked at the music store. Father worked at the grocery store.
See, I would have pinned it the other way around.
And then they spent most of their nights and Saturdays
Working.
looking for properties to buy.
Gotcha.
And, one home in particular caught their eye. So they go to it. It's a large house. And it's an amazing. He said it was an amazing amount of land. He didn't give specifics on exactly how much land, but it sounds like it was a lot. And
That would almost make anything worth it.
yes,
Because you could just do whatever to the house after that if you have that much land.
yeah. Well, the way he described it, we'll get to how it was laid out. Not in great detail because I'm not great at those things. Because he was describing where things were, and I can if I have to, if my imagination as I'm reading it has to lay out a specific way that a person sees it, like an actual place historically there, I can't do it. Ask me to describe Lord of the Rings stuff, I got you. Ask me to describe what I think something from Star Wars would look like, I got you. Because I can make it look whatever I want to.
True.
But someone's actual house, you want to be respectful even in your memories. Or how you're picturing it. I don't know exactly what to call that. But you know what I mean.
Whereas I could do it with a house.
Oh, well then maybe you'll be able to make sense of what I'm saying.
Okay.
And then just, translate for the people who don't speak your husband. Deal? That's 2 fist bumps. We're done. Now.
Don't ever do it again.
I won't. I'm terribly sorry. So, they find this house. Lots of land. Big house. Unbelievably low price. Doesn't say what it was. I imagine. I don't know how much he went back into, family history for this story.
Like his own family history?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, for this story, going to his parents and saying, do you know how much we spent on the house or whatnot?
Okay, gotcha.
And he may have even said, but I didn't write it down because I didn't think it would come up, and here it's come up, so maybe I'm dumb. But as far as I know, it didn't say. So they're excited at the prospect of living out in the country alone. Because they live right, and they live in a what do you call it? Urban? Urban. No, they live in an urban setting.
Okay.
They're going to a rural setting. Rural.
I can't say that word.
It's a dumb word. We need to change the English on that. The countryside. That's where they're going. They're going to the countryside. So they're going out to the country. The Scotts pile into their car and head out to the property. And for miles, there was nothing.
Beautiful.
Not one thing. It's just grass-covered stretches of barbed wire fencing.
Beautiful.
And it just left the children, he said it left them open for adventure.
Yes.
They looked at this place and they were like, "Ooh!" And it kind of reminds me of Baker, like that stretch when you're going from Baker to Matthias. Yeah.
I love it out through there.
If there wasn't any gas station out there, or the vet's office, and it was just farmland over here.
Once you get past a certain point, there is nothing but farmland.
So, it's got lots of decommissioned gas station and one that was converted into a corner store. See what I'm saying there? And I gotta stop that because I was taught even in preaching school you don't say It's so stupid of me that I'm losing that. So Dale describes seeing the house and land as an island of lush emerald green, and as they approached the house, the lush green became chaotic and overgrown. He was like, "Oh, it's a jungle out there.
No more pretty here."
So the realtor wasn't there yet, and Dale's parents were like, "You know what? Let's just look around. Let's see what's going on. Let's see, what's what." And let me see where I was. When he did finally come, he took the family through the house discussing, the changes that they could make. Nothing seemed out of place yet. Small things that wouldn't be out of place if this wasn't a paranormal podcast. Oh, I'm sorry. Nothing seemed out of place yet. Small things that wouldn't be out of place if this wasn't a paranormal podcast started to signal off. Oh, okay. I was like, why would I word it that way? I am so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. So, much like Lynn and her story, we're back to that. The first thing that set off her, our radar, which wouldn't be weird if this wasn't a podcast for ghost stuff, was that the lock wouldn't work. And small things like that, their lock worked, but small things like that showed up. They would hear pops, creaks in the house, and, through a back, like what, 2020, or what is it? Hindsight is 2020? That's what it is. Dale says at the time we didn't put it together, but it did sort of sound like somebody was walking across the floorboards. But the realtor was just like,
it's an old house.
It's the musical sounds of the old house.
Yep, it's just settling.
It's just settling. So they went through the normal questions, and Jack always had a quick answer until Mr. Scott. Oh, that's the realtor's name, by the way.
Mr. Scott?
No, Jack. Mr. Scott is the dad. Dale doesn't ever call his mom and dad by their name in the book. Sort of like,
why?
I have no idea. It's sort of like Guy. I don't think Guy said his mother's name. And I don't know if his dad came into the picture much, because I just remember reading his mom a lot.
Yeah.
I had to go back and listen to that.
I don't know.
So, Jack always had a quick answer, so Mr. Scott was like, why is the price so low? And Jack said that he didn't
question it.
Well, he was like, I don't really know.
Take it.
It only been abandoned for about a year, and the damage didn't outweigh the value of the land. They just left in a hurry because something happened to the previous owner's children. He had heard something about drugs, but he didn't know for certain. It was at this point Mama Scott told Dale and his sisters to go play somewhere. And she was like, yep, you hold your phone.
About that stuff,
please. And when they left, the grown-ups kept talking while finishing the tour. And when the tour was over, Dale and his sister were in love with the home. They just were like, no, we're going to live here. We're good with it. We're good. And when Papa Scott asked the kids how they felt, they practically begged to move into the home that minute. They were like, let's go. Let's get our stuff. We're done with that's city life. We're good with what we got. But that's when it was announced that Mom and Dad put an offer on the house, right on the spot. Now, they told the children not to get too excited because they really lowballed the offer. And we saw that. I can't remember what story it was. It wasn't the demons in Brownsville, was it?
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
But there was a other story we had where they put a really, really low offer on the house, and they got the house. And again, nobody really questioned it. But Monday, Great Scott called Jack. And, oh, dang it, I'll do it again. Oh, he didn't come up again, though. Aww. I called him Jackalope. And I should have... Oh, Jack Elope, like the Looney Tunes. Oh.
You're failing.
I know. It's been so long since we've had written like this. It's throwing me off.
My hands are too arthritic to write. I can type, though.
Right.
But writing, no. It hurts too bad.
So, he told him to put in the official offer, and by 5:30 that day, they accepted the offer.
Not bad. But why?
Apparently we're not looking gifts horse in the mouth. Now, when they entered the new home, Lisa, who wasn't exactly a tomboy, also not a girly girl.
Was she the sister?
Yeah. Shocked everyone by picking the bedroom covered in pink. She was like, this is mine. Thank you.
Please and thank you.
Girl, it's fabulous. Now, it just wasn't her style, but maybe it was time to hit the next phase of her life. That kind of thing.
Good for her.
Now, she raced up to her room, quick as she could, and they could hear her walking. And then she said something, and then after a few minutes, she came down and asked her mother if she had been upstairs. Now, when her mom said no, that they've all been downstairs, she told her mom that she heard walking while she was in her room that only stopped when she asked who was there.
Ooh.
Now, their walking skeptic of a father told her that it was just like Jack had explained, the house was just settling. There we are again. What's happening? What?
He's playing with his own tail. How freaking cute.
That's great.
I was like, what in the world is he doing? He's a mess. He's still a baby.
He is. He's still the baby. Oh, good. He thinks we're talking to him.
Coming.
Yeah. Later that day, the family...
Am I taking you out with my nail polish smells?
A little bit.
I think I'm done.
Okay. Later that day, the family all found a handwritten letter that seemed to explain, in part, why the family had moved out. And it read as follows. I don't want to leave here. I love this house. My parents are making us move to Idaho. We're moving because my best friend was killed in a car accident. I really miss her. It wasn't an accident. But I don't want my friends to get in trouble. We're moving away because I won't tell. Now, another possible murder mystery in an episode.
Interesting.
Quick!
Who cares about decent? The game, Mrs. Hudson, is on.
Now, when Dale's mother read the letter, she told him and Lisa not to worry. Murder, please. Ain't nobody got murdered. You're okay.
Right.
You're okay.
It is what it is.
It's fine. You're safe. Now, it was just, she said, it's just a sad letter, and with that, they moved on with their lives. The words of the letter hung in the air with mystery, though. It's still something that was a little concerning. Now, while Dale's sister chose the upstairs, he had a ground floor room. He was cool with it. He was like, please. Now, once nighttime hit, Dale's joy over the new house, it diminished quite frequently. And it turned to ease because the lights took on a dingy quality that seemed to cast long shadows where they hadn't before. Now, it made Dale tensed and on edge. What? Tensed? I'm so stupid. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. See, I will make fun of myself too. It's not just the Reddit people. I'm stupid as well. See? Tensed. Because that's the wrong tense. See? That's a double joke. I'm stupid and smart at the same time.
It made Dale tense and on edge. The only thing is you made it past tense.
Right. I got the tense wrong.
Okay.
Twice. Redeemed it with the English joke. I am awesome. Anyway, what is this?
I
Actually,
have short, fat fingers.
so he wasn't quite as excited anymore to explore the house after that. He was kind of like, something seems a little dangerous. Now,
Scary.
he was now uncertain about how good of an idea it was to have moved there. He was like, it's not good. I need to stop doing that. So, give us a second. So, he was apprehensive about whether or not they should have moved here. And that's actually pretty perceptive for a 13, 14-year-old boy and going into his second day at the house. Like, that's pretty good.
Yeah?
So, they all ate fried chicken. and then went to bed. And as Dale... Oh, I'm sorry. First day in the house. I thought he had already gone to bed because it was nighttime. I'm foolish. No, they haven't even had dinner yet, and he's already like,
No, thank
this
you.
might have been a bad idea.
Get it.
Smart boy. Now, they all ate fried chicken and then went to bed, and as Dale laid awake staring at the shadows of a tree branch, he heard his parents unpacking utensils in the kitchen before falling asleep at around 2 a.m. His parents still working.
As we do.
Yeah. So, the next morning, over breakfast, Dale mentioned, how hard it was to go to sleep. No one seemed to have the same problem. And he was like, not even you, Mom and Dad? And they were like, we went to bed shortly after you did. And he went to bed shortly after dinner. They were not doing anything in the kitchen. They were not doing anything until 2 a.m. except sleeping. And even past 2 a.m. they were asleep. And Dale now saw that the kitchen remained unchanged from the day before. He was like, oh, they didn't put anything away. So what was that? And that's when his unease about the house heavily increased. He was like, oh! And here I was worried I was going to be scared. Yeah, I'm definitely scared now. Definitely.
Right.
Now, spring in the new home provided bounds of new adventures at every time. It didn't matter what time of day it was. They were able to go out and just be like, woo, I'm a pirate, you're a princess. I'm going to go slay this dragon, save you, but we can't be in a relationship because we're brother and sister. It just so happens that I've rebelled against my father and you didn't. That's why I'm a pirate and you're still a princess. Now let's go.
Speaking of, one of these Fridays, I can't remember which one it is, Chick-fil-A is having a Pirates and Princess party for little kids.
Really?
Yeah, because I saw it. They do a lot of stuff during the week for littles who are either not old enough for school or who are homeschooled.
Oh.
It's fun.
That's
actually.
Neat.
Yeah.
That's such a weird combination. Like, that's why I picked Princess and Pirate, was because they're both peas.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they did it.
I mean, Chick-fil-A is very family-centered.
Well, no.
I'm not talking about why you picked it, but I think it's a Halloween thing that they're doing.
I got you.
And maybe that's why they picked princesses and pirates, because Halloween costumes. A lot of little girls want to be princesses.
It's demonic.
And boys always want to be pirates.
Demonic.
But I want to be a pirate.
If you let your little children be pirates, you're encouraging evil.
I want to be a dirty pirate.
I encourage this evil.
And you can be the princess.
Oh, no, we're not doing that, okay? I don't care if it is 2025. I'm good. I like men's clothing. Thank you.
I do too. It's more comfortable.
So, next to the front yard was a side yard. This is where we're going to talk about the layout of the house. So we've got an A-frame house that is apparently very big, but shoddily made, sitting on property.
And this is the one they live in, correct?
Yes, it's the one they just moved to.
Okay.
It has a front yard, and judging by the way he talked about it, just from seeing it in the front, it was a big front yard. Then there's a side yard. Now, I don't know. Oh, and they were separated by a small fence. Okay, and then, so next to the front yard was a side yard that was surrounded by all kinds of trees. And then they were separated by a small fence and gate. So you had to go into the side yard through a gate. It offered privacy, while the backyard offered a pool party kind of situation. There were also various barns that Dale noticed were much cooler, almost cold, even on the hottest days. And each part of the land seemed to be designed to fulfill the needs of every purpose you could want. You want to farm? You want to party in your pants and everyone's invited?
Go to the backyard.
You, you want to farm? Hold on. You want to farm? There's a spot for that. Want a party? In your pants and everyone's invited? There's a spot for that. If you have the urge to sit in a spot and stare at nature as you think about the meaningless of our repetitive actions, as we take in life like hamsters stuck in a ball on a treadmill. There's a spot for that! The family spent most of their first weekends cleaning up the property. And no matter where Dale went on the property, he always felt like this dark atmosphere surrounding the place, which is almost like the is it the Hinsdale house?
I think so. I
With,
feel like that whole house was just dark.
Well, it wasn't the Hinsdale house. Margaret. Was it Margaret? I know there was a dude that was not Pete. There was a Peter.
I don't remember names.
I can't remember but she had a German Shepherd. She told her husband not to go into work that day because they were scared of something they could feel on the edge of the woods, and they kept hearing Indian chanting.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That story. I don't know where that was, but that story. We've probably told it 500 times too. Like,
Probably.
like we've done so many episodes of
Probably
repeats
so.
because we're dumb. I'm dumb. I find it and I'm like, oh, we've never done this before. So one story we did 3 times. There was an exception to this, and that was the horse stable. He felt comfortable in the horse stable. Now, after they got the yards squared away, they started the major repairs, and by June, those were done, but still, the house creaked and popped like someone was living in the home alongside them.
Ew. That's my worst fear. That somebody's like living in my walls, though.
Well, we talked about that Spider-Man in, I want to say it was Kansas, but I might be wrong. Living in the attic, killed the husband and the wife, I believe, and then was trying to get back into the attic as the police found him.
Yeah.
And his legs were hanging out, going. Like, I know 2 people died in that situation, and that is very tragic, but also the image of this really thin man just trying to get his legs up
Right.
as the cops are saying, you get down from there. Come on.
People are crazy.
Stop it. Stop it. Now, the family largely ignored the noises. You know, they were like,
No big deal.
no big deal. But then something else took place. So the family threw a party, as most family do, as most families do, and the only issue that they found was that the bathroom lights just weren't working properly. Now, they wouldn't work when Dale's aunt tried to use them, but were perfectly fine when Dale and his mother checked them after she came to tell them. You know, and they came to the aunt and they were like, hey, the lights are fine. And she was kind of like, oh, so now I'm a liar?
Duh.
And they were like, no, we just wanted to tell you, you can use the bathroom without them blitzing on you, jerk. So, a week later, nearly midnight, Dale, while in bed, heard his bathroom light click on. Now, he could see into his bathroom and saw that nobody was in there. There was no reason for the light to have come on at all. And he was like, okay, so that's good because I'm supposed to be alone. And I hadn't heard the door open that separated his room from the bathroom and the rest of the house. Like, it was like, boom, boom, bathroom, his room, rest of the house is this way. So his room was separated by a door for some reason. I don't know. He wasn't in the basement, so I don't know. Anyway, Or maybe that's what he meant by ground floor. Maybe, like, in the ground.
Maybe. Who knows?
Well, I assume Dale would know, but who knows?
Not us.
Not us. That's right. Now, he called out, not sure if he really wanted someone to answer or not, asking, who's there? But no answer came. His pulse was beating erratically, and in this tense moment, he jumped up and went to the separating door and found it closed. So nobody had come in. Unless they were like just ninjas.
Maybe they were.
He went through the bottom part of the house looking for the culprit, but there was none. He turned off the light and went back to bed, and the next morning, as the Scotts ate breakfast, Dale's dad gave him a light scolding for leaving the light on. And Dale was perplexed by this scolding and swore he didn't do it, but Daddy Dearest wouldn't hear of it. Excuse me? You didn't do it? Well, nobody came else. Or what?
What? What was that?
Not English. Nobody came in behind you and turned the lights on, did they? The lights plus items going missing was helping the family to feel isolated from one another. Things are just gone. And they were being stretched apart like a bug in a spider web. Ooh. I like that. That was
graphic.
I know. I don't know where that came from. The dreamy house was soon becoming a nightmare. Now, on the first day of high school for Dale, he met an unusual girl. Her name was Samantha, and she was a dirty girl. And not in a fun Christina Aguilera kind of way. Not that kind of dirty. Dale's parents smoked cigarettes, and not often outside, but the smell coming off this girl in stained, grimy clothes choked him out.
Ew.
This poorly cared for teen asked Dale if he was the new kid living in that house, and when he said he was, she told him the kids that used to live in that house
Get out while you
were,
can.
well, she said they were, in her words, weird, and it broadened the mystery for him. The next thing Dale said made me laugh, though. After she gets done, saying that they were weird, he asked how, and she was like, I don't know, they just were. And without skipping a beat, Dale wrote, Samantha and I never became friends. I just cracked up at that. I was like, yes! He's so blunt about it. And then he later on goes and says, I tried to ignore her, and she just wouldn't stop talking to me. She did not get the hint.
One of those. Fair enough.
But the we never became friends was just funny to me. Now let's rewind to just before July. Okay. Dale was alone, enjoying his summer day of peace, when an aggressive honk shocked his heart. He got up and looked out the window and saw a strange pickup in his driveway. Now, he didn't hear this thing come into the way at all. He was like,
why you need a camera.
Where'd this come from? Well, it's the 1970s. Did I not say that? Yeah, I did.
No.
It's the 70s.
I forget. I always think everything is like modern time as us.
Yeah, no. So, like a genius, he goes out to see what they wanted, and he found a woman in the truck who threw a crumpled piece of stained paper at him, and it was a form from the Census Bureau. As the truck ran, Dale began to wonder why he hadn't heard the truck until she had honked, and as he pondered, the woman demanded to know how many people lived in the house. And then she screamed that she would take him to prison if he refused to tell her. But still, my guy hung tough, gang. He said, He kept his clap trap shut.
I'd be like, bro, I'm a child.
He took the paper and ran inside, locking the door behind him, and the woman drove away angry. And for some reason, the missing items began to increase. Now, it was wearing them down. They now had a strange visitor from the Census Bureau show up that Dale didn't hear coming despite the pickup truck. And she
And
threw...
most trucks are loud.
And she threw crumpled paperwork at him. So...
I would have thrown it back. I don't want this.
Right? They've got noises in the house. They've got lights coming on by themselves. They've got things missing. They are being put through the ringer.
You can come back when my mom's home.
And then Dale...
Get out of here.
Dale began to suspect that his house had a haunt. But when he told his dad his belief, his dad told him that they didn't need to be making stuff up. Okay, things are already hard. This pretty much stopped all conversation about it. That is, until the family received a chilling message. So, Dale's mother bought an electric typewriter so they could type out on high-tech equipment. They were like, yes, this is the next best thing to a computer.
Typewriters are so fun.
Is he just breakdancing on that cardboard over there?
I don't know what's wrong with him. Maybe he needs to use the POTTY.
Oh, well, you want to pause?
Yeah, we might have to. Alec has seemed to shapeshift.
Oh, I love you so much.
And here he is, just a fluffy old thing. Oh, and here comes Zoe. She's concerned.
Oh man, that was.
You're back.
Man, must have been on this fur. Man, I'll tell you what. I've never had those kinds of feelings towards Zoe before. That was weird. I don't like it. Well,
Zoe, run, baby girl. Run.
we might have to get that appointment scheduled sooner. Yep, I gotta be neutered.
Especially if you're gonna keep shape shifting.
I can't help it, man. Skinwalker for life. What? Anyway, we're of course joking. Now, Dale's mother bought an electric typewriter so they could type out with high-tech stuff. And the family left to go out for a picnic and enjoy the day like families are supposed to do. And then they went to some place called the Russian River and stayed there until it was about 3-something. Never heard of it, but...
Neither.
So then they get home about 4 and found a typed letter in the machine. Its message would have made flop sweat drip down right through my back.
What kind of
into
sweat?
Flop sweat. The kind that's like droves, you know, you can like...
That's how I feel every day. Shoo! Except right now.
So, it read as follows. Dear Scott family, I have taken something from you and you will never know what it is till it burns in hell. Now, Dale's dad sent his family into a safer location while he checked the house for an intruder, and he searched the whole house, found nothing. Shocker there.
Right.
Now, the house was locked before they left, and they had just changed the locks as well, so they were like, oh, nobody was here.
Yeah.
So
No one could have been.
no, there was no readily available reason that this note should have been typed out. It shouldn't exist. The parents were alarmed and puzzled, but Dale knew who'd done it. Something in this house hated his family and wanted them to know it. And that's just what he had. Now that we're caught up, let's move on to just before Christmas break.
Okay.
Now, Dale's parents apparently had their lives put together way too well because their Christmas tree already had presents under them.
Huh.
When I say just before Christmas, I mean like we're talking 3 weeks before Christmas. They already have. How do you have such control over your children?
Right.
How? Because
I mean, aren't the kids older?
Well-
One's like 14, and how old is the girl?
I think she's 10, if I'm not mistaken.
See, they're old enough to know better.
Yeah.
We never got to that because we keep having children.
In my letter to Santa, I've said, if you need another elf, he's popped this little 3-year-old in. He'll work hard. Just bring him back next year. He'll
It's fun.
spend a year here. He could go until he's too tall. And then,
Well, he's about there.
yeah, he's only got 2 more years.
He's quite a large 3-year-old.
He is. Now, one night, Lisa and Dale returned after school to find that the pool door was open and everything in the house was in disarray. The presents were open with some missing, the TV was gone, and the closets had been emptied. What had happened? Oh man, that was...
You're back.
Man. Must have been on this fur. Man, I'll tell you what. I've never had those kinds of feelings towards Zoe before. That was weird. I don't like it. Well,
Run, baby girl. Run.
we might have to get that appointment scheduled sooner. Yep.
Ooh.
I gotta be neutered.
Especially if you're going to keep shape-shifting.
I can't help it, man. Skinwalker for life. What? Anyway, we're of course joking. Now, Dale's mother bought an electric typewriter so they could type out with high-tech stuff. And the family left to go out for a picnic and enjoy the day like families are supposed to do. And then they went to some place called the Russian River and stayed there until it was about 3-something. Never heard of it, but...
Neither.
So then they get home about 4 and found a typed letter in the machine. Its message would have made flop sweat drip down right through my back.
What kind of sweat?
Flop sweat. The kind that's like droves,
Oh.
you know, you can like...
That's how I feel every day. Shoo! Except right now.
So, it read as follows. Dear Scott family, I have taken something from you and you will never know what it is till it burns in hell. Now, Dale's dad sent his family into a safer location while he checked the house for an intruder, and he searched the whole house, found nothing. Shocker there.
Right.
Now, the house was locked before they left, and they had just changed the locks as well, so they were like, oh, nobody was here.
Yeah.
So,
No one could have been.
no. There was no readily available reason that this note should have been typed out. It shouldn't exist. The parents were alarmed and puzzled, but Dale knew who'd done it. Something in this house hated his family and wanted them to know it. And that's
Terrifying.
just what he had. Now that we're caught up, let's move on to just before Christmas break.
Okay.
Now, Dale's parents apparently had their lives put together way too well because their Christmas tree already had presents under them.
Huh.
When I say just before Christmas, I mean like we're talking 3 weeks before Christmas. They already have. How do you have such control over your children?
Right.
How? Because
I mean, aren't the kids older?
Well-
One's like 14, and how old is the girl?
I think she's 10, if I'm not mistaken.
See, they're old enough to know better.
Yeah.
We never got to that because we keep having children.
In my letter to Santa, I've said, if you need another elf, he's popped this little 3-year-old in. He'll work hard. Just bring him back next year. Spend a year here. He could go until he's too tall. And then,
Well, he's about there.
yeah, he's only got 2 more years.
He's quite a large 3-year-old.
He is. Now, one night, Lisa and Dale returned after school to find that the pool door was open, and everything in the house was in disarray. The presents were open with some missing, the TV was gone, and the closets had been emptied. What, oh what, had happened?
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus and as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel.
So Daddy Scott called the sheriff, who spent the night collecting clues for the case of who made the Scott children so very, very blue. Now, while they found no culprit, they did tell the Scotts that if they had any more trouble, don't hesitate to call. And after this event, the mail truck set them on edge. They were like, someone's coming to steal. Even the kids were told to call the sheriff if they even thought something suspicious had happened. And
Never tell a child that.
Well,
They'll call over everything.
but that was the theme for the winter. That was, of course, the only thing that could solve this family's problem at this exact moment was an addition to the family. In January, Miss Scott announced that she was pregnant. And
Aww.
both kids were actually very happy about it. They were like, yes, finally, a child of our own.
The kids were?
Yes, well, much like...
they're older, yeah.
Much like Oliver, or much like Ryan and Jacob were. They were so excited to see
Yeah.
Oliver.
And then, remember, Jacob wouldn't let anyone else touch him?
Yes.
He was
like,
That's mine.
this is my son now. This is my kid. He did say that a couple of times. He's got some problems.
Why I have learned. Because Ryan and Jacob are so close in age that it is much more fun to have a large age gap.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. There's only a little bit of ribbon there.
Yeah.
Jacob and Ryan, one of them's going to lose a throat. I feel it.
They were great when they were little. They loved each other, but now they're too close.
Yeah, well...
Too close in age, not
Yes.
too close mentally.
Other people that have the same age gap or shorter are like, y'all shut up. They're doing fine. Meanwhile, I am 100% sure
Choke
that if...
slam.
Well, I'm positive that if Ryan could get away with it, he would trick Jacob into riding a bike while attached to like a bungee cord, attached to something else, and be like, no, you won't get pulled off. Just see how far you can go. And then when he is nearly as far as he can go, he just cuts the cord. You see what I'm saying? That's Ryan.
Ryan is a trickster.
So
Pasty Pete.
they all worked to prep a nursery, and throughout the renovation, a strange odor would overtake the room and then disappear. The whole house at times would be filled with this obnoxious odor at various times, and they just learned to live with it. They were like, all right, yeah, whatever. We don't know what it is. So they moved on. Nearly a year after the Census Bureau incident, another car appears out of nowhere in the driveway. But
Because
this...
he didn't send it in. He didn't send his
Oh.
census in.
Well, it's a different car. And it also appeared out of nowhere. And Dale could see that car's empty.
Oh.
There's nobody in there. And they're not at the front door. Where are these people? So he's terrified. Dale gets his sister. They hide in the stairwell where no one can see them. And they watch. Now, Mom and Dad are at their jobs. They're not able to get there. And it left Dale to be the man of the house. So he groomed his peach fuzz and immediately made sure his sister was safe. He was like, all right, I'm a man. You stay here, Lisa. I'm going to take care of this. He goes up to his room, grabs a bat. Goes downstairs and goes to peek around the window. And he sees that it's a maroon Buick just hanging out. And he, again, sees nobody is in the car. He goes to the phone, calls the sheriff, and it's like, hey, somebody is here and they are not in their car, and I don't know where they are. So they say, all right, we'll be there as quickly as we can. And Dale hangs up the phone, and then he sees the shadow of a man pass by the living room window heading towards the back side yard. Now, when Dale saw that, he went immediately into his room, grabbed the bat. Oh, wait, he already did that. Did I say that at the wrong time? He grabs his bat now, ladies and gentlemen. I am dumb. I'm going to keep saying that until everybody believes that I am stupid. They're like, yeah, no, we got it. We got it. Thank you. Sure, thank you. Chips. Now, where am I?
He got his bat.
He got his bat and went back to sit with Lisa on the stairs. And as they waited on the sheriff, Dale felt his heart in his throat. It was nearly silent, save the sound of Dale's blood rushing to his ears. When both he and his sister heard a noise come from his room downstairs. Dale told Lisa to go hide in her wardrobe while he went to check on the sound, and he inched his way towards his room slowly, hoping that it was just a normal noise of the house. The knock was coming from the front door, and it made Dale jump and turn. He was like, ah!
Ready to swing.
But he grabbed his courage and took a tiny step towards the door. Sheriff's Department! Anyone home? Relief flooded Dale's little 14-year-old heart, and he opened the door for the officer. Standing there was a man in a red and black uniform with a hostile hat. He had a mustache as wide as a trailer hanging off of his mouth, and a weeping willow branch in his hand. Yes! He looked down at Dale and shouted, "Ha! Psych! I'm Big James T, and this my house!" And with a lightning fast flick of his wrist, he viciously whipped Dale in the eyes before disappearing with laughter. Or there was a real cop, not a space cowboy ghost with dementia. When Dale looked, the cop car had replaced the maroon one. And not much time has gone by. About the span of what I just said, besides him going to get the bat. About the same amount of time has passed. So it's a creepy thing. So the cop eyed the bat in Dale's hand and told him that there was nothing he needed the bat for. He could put it down. And as he did, Dale told the cop that he was just scared, and that's when the cop asked what had happened. Why had he called? Well, Dale told him that he had seen, what he had seen. I don't see any car. Where was it? It was right where your car is parked now. I didn't hear it leave. Well, I've been here for a couple of minutes and I didn't see anyone leave when I pulled in your driveway. I mean, it might have been someone lost or something. I don't think so, because whoever it was went around back. I saw them go past the windows. Alright, I'll walk around back and check. Now, when the deputy asked if Dale was sure no one was inside or had gotten in, Dale said that he had not seen nor heard anyone come through the other door, so the deputy went around back. Now, two things before moving on. What happened to the noise that you heard in your bedroom, Dale? What happened to that? He said, you hear anything, anybody coming in? I would be concerned that I just heard something in the bedroom before you knocked.
Right?
You know, the bedroom on the ground floor with a window that I'm assuming is accessed with a chair, if not just your legs. No, dude, you're not sure someone isn't in the home. You need to let that dude in. And, oh, hey, deputy, he's 14 and scared. Go check inside the house.
Right? Don't be a butthole.
I know this is a paranormal event, or at least implied to be, but come on, dude. You don't know that.
Yeah.
Go check.
These are children alone who are scared.
Exactly. So the deputy found nothing, but told Dale not to hesitate to call if he saw anything else, and then he left. Now, 3 hours would pass horribly for Dale, who was a nervous wreck by the time his parents came home. His younger sister was unfazed. She was like, oh, that was a weird time. Yeah, we had to hide on the stairwell, and then he sent me to hang out in a wardrobe, and I'm pretty sure I became queen of a land that had talking animals.
Perfect.
Right? So, when they got home, his dad had a new security idea. His name was Hans, the German Shepherd. He learned commands quickly and stayed by the children's side, but one day the family, including the dog, were hanging out in a swimming pool. Their in-ground swimming pool, by the way. Oh, fancy.
Fancy.
Man, oh, in-ground swimming pool like peasants. They couldn't afford an in-ground heated swimming pool. You see, they're poor. Poor people are gross. Poor people are gross. Okay? They have huge. I can't do Donald Trump, but you know what I mean. They're clearly doing well. They've got a German Shepherd. They just bought a house. They have an in-ground pool. Yeah. They're clearly not poor. But suddenly the dog looked up at the dining room window.
Ooh, earthquake!
What are you doing?
Trying to move my leg,
Oh.
but it kept hitting the leg of the table.
So the dog freezes when he looks in the dining room table, and his hackles raise up, and he barks so viciously that he made everyone a little bit nervous. He was like, we're not going to touch him. He seems pretty freaked out. Scary.
I had a dog like that. I had a few dogs like that. When they barked, people would be like, nah, I gotta go. It's time to leave.
After a few more separate times of this, they thought the dog was just being silly. Are you serious? Oh, we got this dog for security, and our son swears we're haunted. But isn't it adorable how the dog barks at air, Deirdre?
Man, let me tell you, dogs barking at air. I'm about to get on TikTok shop and buy me a zapper for these two. They're they're made for dogs. That you hit the button and it just super loud ringing that only they can hear to make them stop. Because literally all day, that's all they do. Is shoom, 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 and bark, 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 and oh my Lord in heavens, it drives me up the wall. And I investigate every bark, and there's never, ever anything in the house, nothing outside. Zap them. So dogs don't know. They don't protect. They're babies.
See, we do a ghost podcast, and not once in that conversation did she say, or even suggest, It was a ghost. False advertising, bro. False advertising.
Well, if they're barking at ghosts like that, still, settle down. They're not bothering us. You quit barking at them. We can all live here together.
For heaven's sake. All right. So, one night while watching TV with the Scots, there we go, Hans began to flip his lid and gourd.
And what?
Gourd. Flipped his gourd and his lid.
I thought you said flip his lid and gorge. And I
No.
was like, so he had to eat? Was he so mad he had to get some snacks?
It's like, it made me so angry, I'm hungry now. I'm tired of every time we gotta watch Jimmy Carter on the TV. I'm not even a Democrat. Where's my kibbles?
Oh, man.
He would have to go eat. Didn't gorge himself. He was so angry. Woo.
Sometimes it helps.
Anyway, they turned off the TV even though they expected nothing. Just the idea of this dog having such a strong emotional connection to his anger that he has to eat to calm himself down.
Oh, it's the dog?
Yes!
I thought it was the dad.
Now the dog. Hold on. I'm pretty sure the dog started to bark. So hold on. Let me see. Hans began to flip his lid. You thought the dad's name was Hans? After I said they don't have names, and we said Hans the German Shepherd is the security idea that Dad came up with.
Look, we've scared Max. He's like, I'm here to protect you, Mother. And I don't need a snack to do it first.
Well, he's not angry enough. Anyway, so when they heard nothing, they turned the TV back on. But then they soon heard a loud thud smack the back of the wall of the house. When Dad told his family, go upstairs, hide, while I call the cops, and I must search the downstairs for an intruder because I'm Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon. And he found nothing. And 2 sheriffs came with K9 units to search the rest of the property, and they found no person, but did find some of the grass in the field had been disturbed, which was evidence of an intruder. However, the Scots felt there was a problem because considering the size of the open field that was behind them, and considering the time it took for the cops to get there, for Daddy Scott to get in the back, someone would have
could have been gone.
No, the idea is that he would have seen someone.
Gotcha, okay.
And if he didn't see someone, the cops showed up it didn't take them hardly any time at all to get to Dale.
True.
Like, he called about the car, hung up, saw the person, and there was a cop in his driveway, like, within minutes. So, I imagine K9 units came out a little faster because they were going to track down.
True.
There was no way for anyone to hide out in the field, not to mention that the dogs would have picked up a scent. But the event soon just became yet another one of those strange occurrences at the home. At this point, I think I would have just Amityville'd right on out of this house.
Right?
Just,
Felicia.
even if these random visitations aren't paranormal, it's still scary that people are coming to your house. Like,
Yeah.
the scariest
Like, I'm an adult and I get anxious if somebody pulls in the driveway and you're not here.
Well, I think of, like, the scariest, without it being one of the old icons like Freddy Krueger and, a more modern slasher type movie, is scariest to me is Strangers. where
yeah.
people are just out in the cabin getting murdered up.
Yeah, and they're like, because you were home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these people live in the woods, and they've had stuff like this happening. You know?
Yeah.
That's just weird. So, the, where was I? Where am I? Oh my goodness. Oh. When Ian looked to be on the loose, we locked all the locks. What? What? Who is Ian? When Ian looked to be on the loose, we locked all the locks and wouldn't leave the odors alone.
The odors? Do you have dementia? What's happened?
I don't even know. There's not been an Ian in this story. Who? What? Is it supposed to be Hans and I turned the H upside down? Am I an idiot? When Ian looked to be on the loose, we locked all the locks and wouldn't leave the odors alone.
I don't know.
What is happening? I don't know where that came from, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to pretend like that's not a sentence that I wrote, because it's not. Oh, man. Oh, this is real scary. It's great when I have, like, that creepy music playing underneath stuff like this.
Right?
Like, what? All right. So sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Let me
Ow, Max.
work some... I have to find where that sentence. So the children felt this fear for themselves and hated being alone in the house themselves.
Okay.
I don't know what was going on there. So soon the sounds of the house took on a more sinister tone for the family. Their normal unease during the day at home would turn to dread at night, prompting them to turn on a significant portion of the lights at night. Sometime in... Let me in them drawers. What?
Let me in them jaws. What?
No. Okay, so I title each segment now so I can keep track of where I am, and that's what this story is about, some drawers. And I said, let me in them drawers. But I wrote it over here, so I'm like, what? I didn't remember. They're going to be like, oh man, we're done listening to this nonsense. Anyway, sometime in late June, Dale was home alone cleaning his room. That brother lost his peat pipe. That's the only reason a child his age is going to be cleaning his room voluntarily. He was looking for what he had lost. The ganja babe. He was like, oh no, if my parents find this, they're going to hurt me. And I'm going to be haunting this house just like the other dude. But the entire time I'll be rambling through things. Where's my pipe? So he headed towards something he calls a utility porch just off of the living room. And as he crosses the living room, he hears what sounds like a drawer closing in his parents' room. Now he stops and then hears it again. Not confident enough that an intruder, or not confident enough of an intruder to call the cops again, Dale checks the noise out and he goes into the room, grabbed his baseball bat before heading to the bedroom, just in case. You know, he's got a mean swing. He's the king of swing, really. The jungle VIP.
Oh,
Now,
Lordy.
as he crept up to the stairs, he heard the drawers opening and closing, and he was more than halfway up when one of the steps creaked under his foot like a snitch. Get thrown in the ditch.
And then you get stitches.
And then he gets stitches. Now, the drawers suddenly stopped at the sound, and Dale was like, oh, that was an intelligent response, and he just jumped past the last 4 steps and busted into his parents' room. Was like, ah! And lo and behold, everything was fine. The drawers didn't even have any clothes sticking out of them. They were all closed in.
Let me in them drawers.
But he was like, he burst in ready to do battle.
Toss me.
So he sees that no one is there. He's both relieved and also perturbed because he's like,
Like I knew someone was there.
yeah, someone is here. The room's in perfect living condition. Like there's nothing thrown about. The drawers are closed. Everything is fine. Nothing to suggest that there had been an intruder in the house. And that terrified him because he found no one in the house. And yet he knows what he heard because he heard it all the way up the steps.
Yeah.
And then he stopped and it stopped. He was like, oh, what's going on? Now, he checked the closet, bathroom, found no one. Kept his bat with him as he headed downstairs. And after about 15 minutes, he's downstairs just watching TV and he hears the boom, 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 boom of the drawers again. And he ran up the stairs, burst in again, but again there was no one. So he goes back down and immediately the drawers start up. Dale finally accepted that this was not the work of an intruder and shouted up the stairs, "Stop it!" Everything went silent, and the air was changed with Dale's challenging command. And Dale walked away from the stairs a victor until the noise of the drawers began once more. But this time, instead of just rushing upstairs, he just shouted for whoever it was to stop. And all of a sudden, a monstrously angry cat growl came from behind the door with an unsettled Dale because he didn't own a cat. So as he stared up towards the room, he heard a violent thrashing mingled with hissing and murderous cat sounds. In an instant, a man fell through the door, shattering it to pieces. He was wearing white overalls and a large butterfly net laid on the ground at his head. And from where the door used to be, emerged a majestic Maine Coon cat wearing one eye patch.
Beautiful.
Smoke billowed out of its nostrils, and a strange purple glow emanated from as a fog from beneath its eye patch. And then it just looked down at him. He felt a painful pull at his chest, and then it walked through a wall. The man got off the ground and followed, saying, "Come on, Sock Basket. You know they're going to cover this one. Get back here right now." And then he too disappeared into the wall after the cat. Gotcha, buddy. Gotcha. You were right. We covered it. I'm getting real tired of his antics. Why can't he keep Sock Basket's more dangerous than salty garlic. She threw him through a door. He's a ghost. How did she throw him through a door? She's evil. I'd almost rather have salty garlic after me than Sock Basket. She's vicious.
Could you imagine if we really had pets named these names?
Oh, we will one day. Except they're going to have fur. Well, the Maine Coon has fur.
I almost had me a part of a Maine Coon.
Oh, she got the leg.
No, I told you, that looked like a Maine Coon, but it wasn't very big. So, I mean, it could have been a baby. Or it could have just been part Maine Coon. But it was all black and it was beautiful. And had I caught it, it would have came home with me.
When?
Like a week ago. You work more now. You don't know what I do when you're not here. You don't you don't have to worry about me being cheaty or sketchy You just have to worry about you're going to come home one day and there's another critter here.
I would be more concerned that there'd be a critter torn open on our floor in here, and you would have waited because you needed me to clean it, because you just couldn't. That's what I'd be the most concerned about. All of a sudden, I don't know there's going to be an animal, but there's a carcass right there as I come home.
Zoe is lovely.
Yeah.
She would never.
Uh-huh.
Only muskrats. And
Only
chipmunks.
muskrats. Yep.
And a squirrel if she could catch it.
So, actually what had happened is he shouted and for it to stop, and it did stop. It went silent for a little while. And he walks away from the staircase again, but the drawers started. This time, however, they were slamming violently. They were like, "Don't you ever talk to me like that again, young man. I am older than you. I am your elder."
That's what you say. What bills are you paying in my house to be slamming shit like that? Quit it.
But this did seem to change the hauntings attitude in Dale's mind, because he ran right out the house. He was like, He could feel the anger in how these drawers were closing. And still outside in the driveway, he could hear the violent thrashing of the drawers. And where he was, he could see into his parents' rooms pretty well, but could not see anything there. Also, couldn't see the drawer slamming. Yet, he could still hear it. And he did go back inside, even putting his bat down, knowing he can't hit a ghost. But he stayed downstairs. And when Dale tried to tell his father, his dad shrugged it off, because Great Scott just wouldn't believe in ghosts. He's like, "Come on,
Of course.
come on, you sick freak. There are no ghosts." I like looking like a Muppet sometimes. Now, I often wonder what's the next step for someone like that. You know, for people that think their child is just either coming up with stories, but this is a 14-year-old child. He shouldn't be coming up with stories like that.
Right.
So, what's the next step for a father like this? Psych ward? Like he said, okay, listen.
Possibly. Like, let's go have this evaluation done first.
Yeah,
and then we'll see what we need to do.
Yeah. Like, do you... Yeah, so in the 70s, 14-year-olds might still be using their imagination, though. What are they going to do?
True,
Play video games?
Was a very different time.
I don't know if they had the Atari yet. I feel like that was the 80s. I think.
I don't
I
know.
could be wrong. Either way, Dale was wasting his time.
Wasting away.
He was wasting his time telling Papa... Oh, okay. Good name. Papa Bon Scott what happened. Now, one evening, Dale's father was home alone and took the peace-filled opportunity to read in the family room. Ironically, I will do this family room without my family in zero. It's a terrible French accent, but they surrender, so I'll just offer to fight him.
That's terrible.
As he was reading, he heard his floorboards creak upstairs, go from Lisa's room to his room. And when the steps got to the end of the hallway, they just stopped. He then heard his door open. And he ran like a man possessed up those stairs, but found nothing. He was like, I'm coming to whoop you. Get in my house, will you? And then he's like, ain't nobody here.
Right.
Ain't nobody here.
And now I'm scared.
But the door was open when he got up there. Now, he goes back downstairs and resumes his reading, but this time as he's reading, he hears the steps leave his room and go to Lisa's room, and then hears her door. Back up he goes to find Lisa's door wide open, and he goes through, checks every upper room, and then he heard the deep freezer screech open by itself out on the porch, and he runs down to the porch, but again found no one. Even checking inside the freezer, just to make sure somebody wasn't like hiding inside of it.
In the freezer?
Yeah, you're not even on screen, but yeah.
That's how intently I was listening. I was way over here.
So he's like, you know what? They're in the freezer where I keep all of my food. I'm stunned.
Save the food.
None of the food is on the floor or
hungry.
out of. None of the food is on the floor or out of the freezer that he says. So he must have had like bare minimum in this freezer for him to think, he got in there. He got in there.
Must have been a big walk-in freezer or like a big chest freezer.
Well, it's a chest freezer, but I'm saying like Donald's freezer is full of food, which is what a deep freezer is supposed to look like. And you're in the country.
Sucks digging through them.
Yeah.
It's awful.
So no one's in the freezer. He saw that the back chain was still locked, but went out anyway to see if maybe the intruder had escaped on foot somehow. Again, he found no one. It was at this point that Dale's father knew he could not deny the weird occurrences in the home any longer. About time. So that night they came together and they had a family meeting where they all came to an agreement that the home was indeed haunted. Father Scott was going to do some deep research on the home. That's where you'll hear this noise. While Mother of Great Thinking Scott suggested that they try to talk to the spirit into harmoniously sharing the home with them. And that's when you hear this one. My goodness. This is a perfect example of why the husband is the head of the household. Alright, I mean, that's it's just one of the dumbest suggestions. I get it, it's the 70s, you don't have any actual real reason to think there's going to be an attachment at any point, because the public is not, as a whole, is not fully aware of, I guess, the rules. You know, they only know what The Exorcist has shown them. Still, I'd be apprehensive. We're going to call Dale's dad Jack from here on. Okay. I know we already had a Jack.
Okay.
Oh! Now I can call him Jackalope. You just wait. So Jackalope went to the county office, he didn't have to wait long, to try and find the history of the home through records. He was like, okay, I'm just going to see what happened. And
I want to do that.
What, for this one?
Mm-hmm.
Don't the records end with Paul? Your grandpa?
I don't know.
He built this home. Didn't he?
I think so. But maybe you could find stuff on the land beforehand. I don't know.
Oh, that's true. I don't know what was over there. Where your parents live. Before you guys lived there, was there anything?
There was another house, but I don't know if that was there. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was there before.
It would have to be.
Yeah.
Because it's not there now.
I'm saying I don't know if someone lived there beforehand.
Oh, I gotcha. So, his research showed that an old farmhouse had once stood where theirs did, built in 1903. That's pretty old. Pretty old. Some of that house was used in the construction of theirs, which is why it was shoddily made. You're using wood from 1903.
Yeah.
And that was about all he could really find. Not really a lot of meat on those history bones. However, he did keep running into one name in particular, and that was Herbert Nelson. His name was on every deed that was drawn up as the border of the property changed. At one point it was this, at another point it was that, then it went back to this, and and his name was on the deed every time it changed.
The Herbert guy?
The Herbert guy. All the way until it became as the Scotts bought it. Now, Miss Please Haunt Me Because I'm Dumb Scott suggested that maybe Herbert the Pervert had died on the land, and it was him that was disturbing them. Alright, seems not bad. She again says, the dumbest thing she could, I think we should have a meeting with him. It couldn't hurt. Oh, you poor, delusional, dementia-ridden bimbo.
Woman, right?
I know, again, they don't know the rules.
What are the rules? What are the rules? What are the rules? What are the rules?
But still, this thing's already shown itself to be somewhat aggressive. And even investigators will tell you it's a bad idea to antagonize a spirit, whether human or inhuman, and having a talk with a spirit saying, ghost, act this way, or, leave, is antagonistic.
Yeah.
Just in the nature of it. Even if you do it
If
with
I was a ghost, you don't tell me to leave.
Yeah, you don't.
I was here first.
You don't do that.
You leave.
But at 8:30, they gather to have a family meeting with what they assume is the ghost of Herbert. And as they went room to room, they introduced themselves. They told him they were aware that he was, quote unquote, living there, for lack of a better term, but this was their house. They weren't going away, so they had to coexist in this house. And as they go, Dale starts to feel better at ease in his mood. He thinks it's working. He thinks it's working. Now, after this, they go to bed early. And the family did notice a steep decline in aggressive activity. Anytime they heard a noise, they would say, "Hi, Herbert." And they seemed to finally gain some peace. And just in time, too, because they were soon to welcome the most peaceful creature in God's entire creation, a brand new baby boy.
I forgot they were expecting a baby.
Yes, and they now have, on the 20th, on September 23rd. On September 23rd, Dale and Lisa Scott welcomed their new brother into the family.
Aww.
He was named Bruce, and he was just what the family needed to keep the winter blues away. We know a little something about that, don't we? Now, every once in a while, they would hear noises like someone was rummaging through stuff, and they'd also occasionally hear the sounds of someone walking around the dining room. So, to try and cut down on their bills, they closed nearly all the doors in their home. So, they're hearing these steps coming from behind different rooms that are closed off. Because they're only heating a small part of the house now.
Right. So are they all sleeping in one room?
I don't think so.
Because it seemed like their rooms were pretty spread out.
Well, the sister and the parents sleep upstairs, and he sleeps downstairs. And I'd have to look at the design of the room, but, I'm terrible at that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It just said to cut down, they had a bunch of rooms closed up. Now, most of the noises were coming from... Oh, we already did that part. Now, despite this, the Scotts made it all the way to spring. Yeah, noises, baby, and all. In the past 2 springs, Dale had incidents of people coming to the house in their cars. If, their cars were ninjas. But, this 3rd spring, he was spared that fate. Yes, no more worrying about when the next crazed driver was going to show up. Instead, he got to live out that one scene in Halloween where Michael Myers is hanging with the laundry in the backyard. However, the 6-foot-tall man that Dale saw standing in his hayfield looked more Amish than Psycho Mechanic with a Captain Kirk mask. His hair blew around, but the tall grass that he stood in wasn't moving at all.
Ew. That's creepy.
He was staring at Dale, and he felt fear begin to shake his very soul. He went over to the window and opened it, shouting out the question, "What do you want?" And the young Amish man just stared at him, unblinkingly. He sprinted out to the deck to, I guess, go fight the dude. I don't know. But he was gone. The mystery of the home only deepened with this event. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the first part of our story. And I hope it thrilled you a little, chilled you a little. It probably didn't, because I'm an idiot and don't know how to read my own writing. And I also wrote sentences that weren't really
About
sentences.
the olders.
Yes, you gotta stay with the olders, you know. You gotta stay. I gotta read that
I need
one
to
more
know
time.
who the olders are.
I do need to. Yeah, that's a very good question. It was in purple writing, wasn't it? Yeah. Where?
I didn't see that part. I only saw that in the drawers.
Right. Okay. So it's over here somewhere. Oh man. Yeah. Where is it?
Goodness.
Where is it? Where is it? Is it the holders? I don't know where it is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'll find it later and crack up at it. Anyway, thank you for listening. Please join us for the next episode that we do, but also there's a very special event we have coming up. On the 18th, which is next week, correct? When this comes out, it'll be next week.
When's this one coming out? The 6th?
Yeah.
So not this coming Saturday, the 11th, but the next Saturday on the 18th.
The 18th. We have a live show at Wordplay here in Wardensville. And we would love for you to join us. It's at 6 o'clock on Main Street. It's a front-facing store, right?
Yes.
It's on the street there.
Yeah, but I think we're going to be on the side porch.
Yeah, we'll be on the side
So.
porch, diagonal from the 7-Eleven. So come join us and listen to the first Conjuring story as we celebrate our upcoming 4th episode on the Rhode Island Conjuring House. I'm quite excited, aren't you?
Yeah.
But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, remember, curl up your feet, because Salty Garlic is, well, she's hungry. Mainly because Sock Basket keeps throwing people through time and space and won't come home with the feet she promised. So, make sure that you...
There's a demon back there.
I'm going to have to go exercise some things, Sam and Dean style. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Look at little Franklin watching his puppy videos. But you don't have to watch puppy videos. You can watch Ghosted in West Virginia and join our channel. And if you think about it, you could also go over to Ghosted in West Virginia Facebook page and share and subscribe there as well. Of course, if you don't, you're a loser.